Hello and welcome back to another episode of the OS Talk. Today we're actually going to talk with RBRat3. I call him Rubber Rat, so if anybody has problems with that, like I'm getting out there now, just refer to him as Rubber Rat3. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. We also have with us today Deadbeat. He's going to help stand in for Charles again because Charles is out with a case of the lazies. How you doing, Deadbeat?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right. So we don't have too many people here today, but that's okay because a lot of people are probably wondering what it is that we'd be interviewing my friend Rubber Rat here for, but he actually does some really cool stuff. So we're going to get into a bit of that today. And for our first question, what actually got you started in OS? Did you start it as playing or did you look at it right for art? What got you started, man?
I actually found it through a Google search. I was looking up multiplayer rhythm games. After the server shut down on Easy2On, which I regularly played for quite a bit, I was having that rhythm game, fiending for it. I wanted that multiplayer feel.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when Flash Rush Revolution very first came out, like in terms, it wasn't even like Step Mania or anything. It was just that Flash game. I no-lifed that for so long. And then it went away, and I was sad.
Well, OS, filled that nice little hole in my heart.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, and so it was just a Google search for online games. Were you expecting anything outside of OS? Were you like looking for maybe like an O2 Jam emulator that had multiplayer or something like that?
No, it was just really a general search. It was just multiplayer rhythm games, and after going through a few threads and forums and whatnot, OS came up with a name. It didn't actually directly, jump out like it does now, but back then it wasn't really all that popular, I suppose.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on a couple game sites. Like, it just had this super tiny obscure page. It's like, oh hey, this is a thing. But we don't really know too much about it, so yeah. It has Phoenix Wright and Queen. Go play it. Alright, so people notice your title, and it's OS Painter. We do have a few OS Painters. I think there's another one outside of you. But did you have a solid art background before you came to OS, or was this just something as a hobby and you've kind of just improved the craft as you went on?
I'm not too sure if what I would call it a background, but my father bought a vinyl cutter, which is a machine that produces basically just vinyl decals, and I ended up taking ownership of the machine and getting into it and this and that and making stickers and all kinds of weird stuff. And so it's pretty proficient at vector graphics now, but not really a really artistic background, so to speak. More of a technical one, if anything.
So you kind of picked up most of the stuff just doing willy-nilly stuff around OS.
Yeah, pretty much. I got my first tablet when I was 18. I think it was, this is way before I found OS. And I twiddled around with that, but I never actually, caught on to actually doing anything artistically. It was more like moving points here and there, lines, bending them and whatnot.
I gotta say, you've improved a lot there, because some of the stuff I've seen you do is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss with me. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and then I just scrap it all and start over. It's never perfect the first time.
Yeah.
I never get the hits, I just get the misses.
Yeah, I mean, I've barely dabbled into Photoshop. I mean, I've done a little bit of stuff, and I mean, it's fun, but it's definitely something you just kind of mess with.
I think the only real freehand work I've done for OS was the Christmas footer. I think that was 2 years ago. I think that's the only freehand work I've done. Everything else is partially vectors.
Okay, so that kind of leads into the third question. For those that might not be familiar with things you handle in the game, would you mind going into a little bit of detail with you a little bit of detail on what you do on a normal day-to-day basis to help out with the community and stuff?
Well, as of right now, it's mostly graphic resource management is, I guess, the best way to look at it at this point. As of late, I've been going through and rearranging the Photoshop layouts for the game, and arranging them in a way where I can export them and change them on a whim. So if there's ever any changes, it could be done and instantly. What else is there?
You did a lot of work on the Tycho and new standard skins, didn't you?
Oh yeah. For the standard, actually, Peppy did a lot of. At least I think that most of the hit objects he did. I redid most of standard's graphic sets so we can actually have an HD resolution. I practically reproduced everything about that. Tycho, I did that so it can do HD resolutions now, but at the same time, I also changed the way the drum indicators were laid out. I don't think Tycho was really made for like with the intention of being skinned, so it was kind of fixed and everything was shrunk down. It was couldn't move objects anywhere, but I changed it so the whole area could be used on the Tycho bar left, so everyone can use that. If it could be a drum, it could be, you know, buttons, it could be whatever, but you're not constrained to the fixed positions that it was once in.
That's really cool, actually. So now, instead of just being a drum, like, you could have a car over there and be beating on the tires? Essentially?
It could be whatever you want.
I was seeing some pretty interesting.
As long as it can fit. Oh, I'm sorry. As long as it can fit within the drum, the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying, when I was looking at the skins, I've seen some very interesting Tycho drums, I suppose you could say.
Yeah,
like,
I
a lot
can
of people
only
come up with
imagine.
some very interesting ideas.
Well, I was a little scared when I made that change or wanted to make that change because I don't know how many people really skin the drum. And after researching all through the threads and everything, basically what everyone was doing was copying the default drum or changing the colors or what have you. But it hasn't really changed all that much. Like, nobody done anything extravagant with it. So
Yeah.
The hard part about doing things like that is you don't want to break the skin and make everyone's hard work go to waste.
Yeah.
To where they have to go back and fix it. That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, I know. There was a couple times when I was doing the pony skins and the revisions to how the skins were set up kind of changed, and it was right in between that big transition from HD to the standard definition layout. And not a lot of stuff changed, as you might think, but for someone that's making a full skin, quite a bit actually did change and kind of affected it. And it took a minute to get used to all the new stuff, and it took me a really long time to figure out how to make the new spinners work.
Yeah, you gotta love that new spinner.
Oh yeah, it's so beautiful.
Is it actually you who made the spinner, or did Pippi do that?
I made the texture sprites that are being used for the spinner currently, but Peppy implemented it the way it currently is.
Makes sense.
All right, and so for our next question here, what are some of the things that you're actually looking forward to in the coming months for the community? I mean, if you listen to the Japan Expo interview, Peppy was talking about how there's a lot of decent stuff that's going to be coming out towards the end here and going into the next year. What's something you're looking forward to? Not saying that it's going to happen, but just something you'd like to see happen.
That's actually kind of difficult for me because there's so many ideas that are around that could be a possibility at this point. There's always something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I have to say the new website, just a major improvement over the old one, if anything.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it looks amazing.
Yeah, released that little teaser of it, and it looks good. It looks real good.
I can't wait to see how this will look.
Yeah, and well, seeing as he kind of did that, what about you, Deadbeat? There anything that you're particularly interested in seeing?
I think most of the things I'm interested in seeing will probably come about with the new website design.
With the new website design?
Yeah, because Fippy said that a lot of changes were going to happen around the same time, such as teams and whatnot.
I wonder if hold notes are going to happen within this next couple months. I mean, people have been talking about them a lot more and more.
Hold notes 2020.
And I'll probably end up having to do the sprite for that too.
Alright, so on to our next question. With some of the things that you're looking forward to, what are some of the bigger contributions you've made to the game in terms of like digital artwork and graphic design? Where would you say is your largest contribution made?
Oh wow, I really don't know. I'd have to say honestly, it doesn't really have anything to do with artwork per se. I would have to say it was just organizing the resources, keeping track of all the sprites and whatnot, and redoing the PSD layouts. Just be able to generally manage it. I think that's probably the most I've done.
I think it's probably one of the more important things too, though, because I mean I've seen how some of those repositories get, and keeping them all straight and centered is nice by any means.
But on the side, I'd say some of the other contributions, like I did a few achievement icons. That's how I got the title Oast Painter. But it's a little late to mention that now because those are probably all getting scrapped for the new website and whatnot.
You'll get a chance to remake them.
Yeah, all over again.
I've remade the sprites just for the sake of remaking them. I don't think if anybody would ever notice, but I redid the play count ones, and they look the same. I just reproduced them so it would look a little bit better around the edges. It just kind of annoyed me.
I wonder when it comes to achievements and stuff like that. Kind of get off on a little bit of a tangent here, but were either of you guys around when we had that neat little mini game system?
Minigame system?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Okay, like, look, every 10 minutes, BanchoBot would pop in and be like, don't drop the fruit, or it'd have some kind of different type of game. And it'd be like, catch 37 fruit in a row on this song first. The first person to do it. And the first person that would hit the goal that was reached would get a point. And it was really neat. Like, I mean, they had all kinds of crazy stuff. It was like, pass this with a D rank. Like, it literally, like, made you do all kinds of wacky shit. And it was really fun.
That actually sounds pretty fun. I don't think I was ever around for that. Was that before I joined?
It might have been before you joined. But I know for a fact that the game mode system's still there. I just wonder if anything's going to be done with it, and I'm hoping when this new site happens, maybe a way to track how many points you get would mean that it could actually be active during the day, because it's really fun.
Make multiplayer a lot more fun.
It gets hectic, though. I mean, like, I did most of it in solo, because you're just trying to get to it first before anybody else, but it's a really cool concept, and I'm hoping maybe that might be something that pops up soon. Okay, but I'm sorry about the tangent there, but question 6 here. So, about the mascots, we have to ask, which one's your favorite? I think I know the answer to this one, but we'll go ahead and let you speak on that.
I don't know if you know the answer per se. I'd say Yuzu is pretty good right now, but I'm really curious about the new one that's coming for Mania.
Oh,
I agree.
Yeah. I can understand that, but I thought your heart was with Pippidon, man.
Well, yeah, she needs to be redone. She needs some work. She's looking kind of beat up over the years.
But how can you hate a face that derp?
Oh, it's just it adds so much character. I really don't want to change that at all. I really don't. It just adds so much character with all the wavy lines. Luigi Han just hit it right when he did that. It was great.
All right. So with the next question, if you're okay with disclosing this, what might you be working on now? Is it disclosable, or is this something you got to be shush about?
I don't think it's very shush. Right now, I'm replacing old resources that use the X and B format. I wouldn't say it's actually anything new. I'm remaking them basically. But Catch the Beetroot are being almost complete. I think I got grapes and the apple to do, and that'll be it.
That's cool.
Then to the future.
No fancy sexy fruits though? We're not going to get any super hyper futuristic looking
llama.
They didn't really change much. They look better in my opinion, but they're still fruit.
Yeah. And for our next question here, will you be working on the new website design at all, or is that going to be solely owned by Flight?
Flight's doing a fantastic job with it. Mostly what I've done to it so far was I was asked to do loading animations. I don't know how much of that is still being, going to be used in it, but I've done a fair bit of that. I've also made a custom OS font that contain, just simple graphics like play styles, difficulty icons, and play mode icons, and I think a fair bit of mod icons. I can't remember what's in there. I haven't touched it in forever.
That's pretty cool. And I'm going to go ahead and let Deadbeat answer this. Well, not answer, but ask this next question.
Yeah. Speaking of design and stuff, a while back, a lot of people noticed that adorable OS pillow you made. Have you thought of creating more like OS merchandise idea things or anything similar to that?
It didn't originally start as a merchandise. Someone made a nice little cute fan art with Pippi holding a pillow, and I was like, I could render that out in like about an hour. Let's do it. It wasn't really a merchandise pitch, so to speak.
It just kind of turned into one. Did it ever become an actual sellable thing?
I believe the details are still being worked out onto it. Ephemeral is, or ephemeral, I'm sorry, mispronounced that. Basically took over that idea. He's trying to figure out ways who can manufacture it and whatnot, and the stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah, and that's fine. We do have a few people here. I know that there's not too many, but apparently they do still want to ask questions. So we'll go ahead and open that up. Kianko has a question here that she'd like to ask, and we'll go ahead and let her do that.
Oh.
You're good.
Oh, okay. I started talking a bit too early. Okay, so RBRat, or however it's pronounced, are there currently any other projects that you work on, graphics-wise, for any other sites?
Anything outside of OS? No, not exactly. I have personal projects that I like to do. I like to color in a lot of people's line work. I really enjoy that. I don't know why. I just do.
Also, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I am right-handed.
Most of the time, when anybody who does big art stuff for sites like this, they're usually left-handed, I've noticed.
That's kind of interesting. I've never heard of that.
No, I've just kind of from especially being around in the hanging around the art forums a lot and talking to quite a few people that are in the art forums. A lot of them are left-handed. Maybe it's an Asian thing, because a lot of the people that do that do a lot of graphic stuff in the art forums are Asian, and Asian people are more likely to be left-handed.
Maybe.
Also, do you cosplay? And if not, who would you cosplay?
If not, who would you cosplay?
Wow. I'm not into cosplaying per se. I enjoy actually looking at them. You know, the pictures and whatnot, the beautiful photography everyone takes. But I've never personally done it myself. If there was
Cosplay
anybody, I probably would as a joke. But if there was anyone I would cosplay, it'd probably be Onizuka from Great Teacher Onizuka.
That is a good anime. You now have all of my respect.
I actually own a few of the animation cells from that.
You now have all my respect. That's a very good anime.
All right. Anyways, it seems Drum Drum has a question. I'm guessing he's going to type it out, unless he wants to open his mic and speak it. And yeah, we're getting a lot of that great reaction time from Drum Drum. Good job, buddy. Guess he doesn't have a question? Nobody else? Okie doke then.
What?
That's not. Yeah, dude, there's like nobody else here.
Drum asked a question though.
Where is it at?
He asked it.
He was just talking.
He spoke it.
I did not hear him. I swear.
I did.
Did not hear him at all. It still shows
can hear him.
muted for me.
He's fine for me.
Weird. Oh, I had him muted. Okay, take
Good
2
job.
of that.
Wow.
Just like that.
Okay,
Could
good
you...
job. All right, so I'd like to ask, when did like you start with the drawing and stuff? When did it all, or how did you learn?
I wouldn't say it was like a learning process, so to speak. I honestly, I really don't draw all that much. I really do a lot of vector line work. And it's not so much as drawing as it is, you know, throwing lines out, put points here, bend it there, and it's kind of counterintuitive for me to, you know, draw by hand, but I do it occasionally.
Actually, there's one question I probably should have asked a bit earlier, and it popped into mind. You kind of mentioned that you started, or you kind of got a lot more into doing this sort of stuff during OS. How did you actually become the OS painter?
Oh, it was through
Like, was it big-
achievements.
So it was because of the achievement thing.
Yeah, it was, I think I got 3 achievements at the beginning
And
of that before I
Balance.
became a painter. Yeah, Balance.
think
He
Balance
did
did the other
pretty good
one.
work too.
Yeah,
I actually wanted to ask that too.
Ninja.
Today I've just been reading people's minds.
That's all right then. Well, thank you so much, Rubber Rat, for taking time today to talk with us all. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I'm
Yeah.
fully enthused.
Fully enthused.
But yeah, make sure to check us out. This should be released sometime within the next week. And remember, guys, Rhythm's only a click away, and we'll see y'all real soon.
Right.